and welcome back to my next watch review. Today we have the Ezon R7. And it's a sports watch, and that positioning is important because it does not have the typical features of a full-blown smartwatch. This is designed really primarily for sports. So it's a sports watch. It's more focused on the sports experience. It is GPS, it's waterproof, but it does not support an active touch interactive screen because it's made for swimming and water sports. So I'm excited to see something really new and different here. Let me go all Rambo on this thing and open the box. So I'm going to show you what comes out of the box here, and then I'm going to go away and wear it for several days and come back with my full, fair, and honest review. Let's see what this guy looks like. All right, so, wow, that's really in there tight. Let me pull the whole stuffing out. Oh, I see what's going on. This little flap is hanging things up. So let me push that through. Then this guy will pop out of here. So let's take a look at the watch itself. Boy, this is really packaged nicely. I think I like the strap already because it's pretty flexible, which generally is better for outdoor sports. It's like a softer band than maybe you would expect or see from other smartwatches. Wow, this looks like a really solid metal case. Lots of sensors here. Those would be your diodes. Not exactly sure what that is. That might be for charging. I'm not sure. Wow, I think it's a really good looking watch. It's always subjective, right? But let me press and hold buttons here to see if it has any life or battery life out of the box. Nothing going on there. Let me try the bottom right one. And yeah, nothing going on there either. So I'm going to put this on the charger. But so we have the watch itself. We have the charging cable, and there you go. That explains that back design. And then we have a user manual here, and it looks straightforward. Actually, the printing is pretty big, which is always important. All right, so it's telling me about active GPS right now already. It supports triathlons, open water swimming. I'm just going to give you an example. Pool swimming, open free cycling, treadmill, marathon, rowing machines, boating. Not sure if that's kayaking. We'll find out. Rope skipping, trail running, hiking, climbing, rapid rowing. So it's going to be geared towards sports mode. So this little charging thing looks like it is sort of the alligator clip style charger. Yep. It's got a couple pins in here. Now let me zoom in just a tad. And it's got some pins that are going to fit into this slot over here on the right. See what's going on there? Little opening here with slots with some little opening here with some electrodes in there, and then these pins just sit right down in there, and that's going to be a solid connection to the smartwatch. So let me charge this up and wear it for several days and come back with my full, fair, and honest thoughts. All right, that didn't feel like all that long, did it? So I've actually been wearing this watch on and off for a few weeks now. I got called out of town and delayed this by a little bit, but we've got a lot to talk about with this watch. Okay, one thing you'll notice, it has an always-on display, and it seems a little bit dim at first, but in bright lights it actually becomes easier to read. So I like that. It's a 44 millimeter diameter display with Corning Gorilla Glass 3, so it's pretty rugged. There is no swiping or touching of the screen, as I mentioned at the outset. Everything is controlled by these two buttons. There's an upper right button and a lower right button, all right? And that's it. That's how you navigate everything on this watch. So if we want to light that screen up, we press the upper right button. And if we want to get into our various settings, you press the bottom right button. And then you scroll through by turning the crown, okay? Here is your history, and if you want to see your history, you press that button again, and there's a boating outing, there's a hike, and you see the results of all your exercise histories in here. Here is where you would turn Bluetooth on and off. Again, just by pressing that button one more time. Let me zoom in a little bit here to make this easier to see. So you press that button to toggle that on and off. I'm going to turn Bluetooth on, spin the dial here, and you'll notice something interesting. You might think that you are spinning the menu when you go up. You might think daily monitoring would be next, and you would be right. So you're actually not moving the active area, you're moving the menu behind it, if you get my drift there. But there's do not disturb, Bluetooth, your history, metronome, that would be your chronographer, your chrono time. There's your countdown timer. You can set alarms. Here's your heart rate variability test. And this watch does have both green and red diodes, so that's good. Here is your sensor. There's a compass and an altimeter. Let me go back. Altimeter, compass. Let's keep going here. You get into some settings, and you can change the tone, change what wrist you're wearing it on, satellites, languages, factory reset, reboot, about, change watch faces, change menu style, time. Okay, units, I've got it set to imperial and Fahrenheit. Backlight, you can change the time out there to whatever you want, really. Right now I've got it on, let's set it to 10 seconds here. And raise to wake, so when you lift your wrist, it'll actually light the face up automatically. So those are your settings. There's a lock screen. And I think, have we gone all the way around here? Maybe. Bluetooth, do not disturb. History, yeah, I think we've gone all the way around. So that is how you navigate through the main menu. When you want to get into a sports mode, then you would press that top right button, and here's where you get into those activities. There is boating, rope skipping, trail running, climbing, hiking, rapid rowing, rapid boating. That would be kind of like whitewater running, free run, interval run, outdoor fat burning. You get the idea. There's lots of sports modes in here. I would say this is a watch for runners and outdoor enthusiasts because it's 5 atmospheres waterproof, and the fact that it doesn't have an active screen to touch means you're not actually going to bump it, and if you get rained on or you go swimming with it, it's not going to activate anything on the watch itself. You physically have to press these buttons and turn the crown and then press that again to get into your various modes. It's going to take you a little while to get used to, but as an avid outdoors person and kayaker, I really appreciate this because sometimes you just don't want to bump a watch accidentally and have it do stuff. You want to physically have to press buttons at the beginning of your sport and at the end of your exercise, and just have it totally under your control. You get the idea. So, yeah, it's got the compass, altimeter built in, barometer. The battery is a 220 milliamp hour battery. Battery life should be good for like up to about 25 hours if you're running the GPS constantly. Otherwise, about 30 days on standby. I mentioned it's got both the green and the red diodes. It's a beautiful looking watch. It actually kind of reminds me a little bit of like the Samsung Galaxy watch series in its shape and function. Let's look at the app and then I'll come back with my final thoughts. The app here is called Runner Kit. All right, that's Runner Kit, and that gives you a good indication of who this watch is designed for based on the name of the app that you pair it with. But here is where you would pair the device. You have to turn Bluetooth on the watch itself over here. Okay, I showed you that earlier. And then you would find it and pair it, and then you would hit this recycle button at the top to pull in the data from your watch. There you have model R7. It lets you know if you're connected. Here's your device management settings, your GPS. You can do a device upgrade, reboot firmware version. Let's see if that's the latest. I think that's all the latest, okay. You can turn on reminders for incoming alerts and whatnot from your various apps. There's your sleep monitoring. You can turn it on and off and have a start and end time if you wish. Here are daily alarms that you can set. You have your exercise menu of what exercises you want on the watch itself. So if there's any that you don't really use, like I don't usually run around the track, outdoor stress relief, I don't do interval runs, but you get the idea. You can toggle them on or off, and then screen level lock interval. If you go to the home screen here is your continuous heart rate in beats per minute. This is all pretty good, and you can scroll back through the various days that you've been wearing it and see that. Here is your sleep monitoring, and it gives you your total sleep time, okay, and it gives you a deep sleep percentage and number of minutes or hours in the deep sleep, light sleep, REM, it says I move, that's REM sleep, and awake times. It gives you the breakdown of all of that. Here are your exercise records, where here's a kayaking trip I did the other day over the weekend. It gives you a map of where you started and where you ended, and you can zoom in and zoom out. It gives you your total time, sports timer, average pace, max pace, total count, and heart rate, all right. So you get the drift. It gives you your various paces over the course of that exercise, your altitude, the laps that you're doing. Just a lot of cool stuff in here. Here's another kayaking adventure I did the day before. All pretty much the same information here. And here's a hike I did. You get the idea there. Very good. I like the GPS. It grabs the satellites pretty quickly. The app is pretty straightforward. Again, the app name is Runner Kit, and it works well with the watch. And yeah, let me come back with my final thoughts. So I think this watch is pretty amazing. It's the Ezon R7 sports watch. Again, this is really for outdoor runners and swimmers and people who are going to be outdoors, and this thing is going to get wet, and you want something waterproof, and you want to have to physically press buttons rather than swipe the watch. And we all know in the rain or when you're really sweaty, sometimes swiping and the touch sensitivity of these screens does not always work the best. So, yeah, to get into an activity, you would basically choose what you want. And let's just say I would do a pool swim. You would press that button again, press that button again to start. And then when you're done with this activity, you would press the bottom right button and then scroll down to the end of the activity here and press that top right button again. This is telling me my exercise time was too short to collect that record. That's okay, but that's how you navigate through the menu system and get into the sports mode. So check this one out. Ezon R7, I give it 2 thumbs up for outdoor enthusiasts. The GPS works great. It's got the constant heart rate monitor in there, the multi-sport modes. I think this one is a true winner.